Hello and welcome. This is Project Superhuman and my name is Jonathan Potter. And today we're going to be talking about bodybuilding diets and their potential impacts on health. What I'm defining as a bodybuilding diet is a high protein, kind of strict diet that focuses on maximizing muscle gain and lessening fat accumulation. We're going to look at whether or not these diets are healthy or not. So let's talk about high protein intake. Some people worry that high protein will impact liver, kidney, and bone health. However, recent studies have shown that in healthy individuals without pre-existing conditions, there are no impacts on liver, kidney, and bone health. And there was another study done where participants consumed 3 grams per kilogram per day of protein, and there was no effects on their blood lipids or their metabolic health. Protein is also the most satiating macronutrient, which often leads people to feel fuller and reduce calorie intake. In addition, older individuals are often prescribed a high protein diet to combat age-related muscle loss. So overall, a high protein intake does not seem to be unhealthy and potentially has many health benefits. Let's talk about the other side of the diet. Bodybuilders don't just consume protein, they have to consume carbs and fat as well. And in general, a lot of bodybuilders eat staples such as rice, broccoli, spinach, potatoes, complex carbs, and healthy fats, which generally is considered to be a healthy diet. They often avoid processed food and junk food as these don't lead to optimal muscle gain and fat loss. A 2019 study showed that eating overly processed food and junk food led to weight gain and higher calorie intake. Kind of makes sense. And like I said, bodybuilders tend to eat lots of vegetables and fiber-rich foods, which also help keep you satiated and full longer. So in that way, a bodybuilder-style diet can be quite beneficial for health. Another thing bodybuilders do is count calories. So counting calories is for each food you eat, you count how many calories that food has. Bodybuilders do this to maintain weight as well as regulate energy. While calorie counting can be effective, it doesn't address the psychological barriers that come with healthy eating and can lead to eating disorders. However, with an individual approach, if you find calorie counting to be useful for you, should go ahead and do it. However, if you find that calorie counting doesn't work for you, you may want to adopt a different strategy. Personally, I find that calorie counting is useful, however, very tedious. So often I forget to do it and I wish that it could be fully automated. So currently, I don't really do it that much. However, in the future, I might try doing it. And then let's talk about bulking and cutting, which is a big part of bodybuilding. So bulking is when you eat at a calorie surplus. So you're eating more calories than you burn. And cutting is when you're eating at a calorie deficit, or you're eating less calories than you burn. So bodybuilders often go through cycles of bulking and cutting to maximize muscle gain and fat loss. So you bulk to gain weight, improve and grow muscles, and then you cut to lose all the body fat you've gained from bulking. Now, it's also important to note that there are kind of 2 kinds of bulking, and there's kind of in between as well. So there's dirty bulking and clean bulking. So with a dirty bulk, you're eating processed food and junk food. So chips, cookies, candy, pizza, just bad for you food that will lead to metabolic dysfunction. Even in healthy weight individuals, this kind of diet can lead to type 2 diabetes, as well as increase your risk of all other disease, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative diseases, and cancer. Clean bulking, on the other hand, is where you generally eat healthy whole foods. So you're going to be eating lean protein, lots of vegetables, complex carbs, healthy fats, and that's going to be a lot healthier of a diet. Now, there is some dangers around it, and a lot of people talk about this as well, is where you're so concerned about only eating healthy foods that it kind of is a detriment to your mental health or psychological health because you refuse to eat other foods. But if you're mindful of that, don't take it to the extreme. Unless that's what you're trying to achieve and you're still mindful of that, then it can be often healthy. But you can still be healthy by leaning towards the clean bulking side even if you don't do it perfectly. Repeated cycles of dirty bulking can lead to a lot of adverse health effects, so keep that in mind. Lastly, let's talk about supplements. Many bodybuilders take supplements. To reach high protein intake, you often supplement with protein in the form of protein powder. A lot of bodybuilders take supplements that increase muscle gain and muscle muscle recovery, and lots of other supplements. However, the long-term effects of these supplements are unknown, especially supplements that impact hormones or metabolic functions. And it's important to note that the more supplements you take, the more risk of having an interaction between them is. Now, protein powder and creatine are heavily studied and are generally safe, whereas other less studied supplements may be unsafe. Taking supplements individually to test out their effects is beneficial rather than taking multiple at a time and not knowing which supplements are causing what. In conclusion, bodybuilding diets have lots of health promoting benefits, especially with eating on the cleaner side, avoiding junk food, and even the high protein intake. And it's important to remember that every person is unique, so what works for one person may not work for another. And it's always good to consult with a healthcare professional or registered dietitian before you change your diet in any drastic way. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want me to cover any other topics, leave a comment down below letting me know. And if you want to see more health related videos, subscribe to the channel. And let's go out and improve ourselves. Thank you.